in Asia and in Southeast Asia is just something we would never turn down. And we were kind of offered the opportunity to come and do this tour, and just thought it would be amazing to come to some places we'd never been to before and have a look around and hopefully connect with some fans, some Malaysian fans who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to see us play.
First time in Malaysia?
Yeah, all of our first time.
Yeah. What do you think about Malaysia?
It's amazing. We all kind of last night went out for a nice meal, and we went for some classic Malaysian food and curries and stuff. And this morning we all kind of independently went out by ourselves just to go and explore, just because, as a band, if we all go do separate stuff, we could all come back and tell each other, right? It feels like we've done 4 times this stuff. So we all went out by ourselves and had a look around. It's amazing, and the weather's great because we're not used to heat like this. So yeah, it's good.
So your first album, call it Bad Blood. So tell me more about the album. It's a bunch of songs that we wanted each song individually to be quite different from the last, so we're sort of experimenting a bit with sound and genre, and each song, I guess, tells a bit of a story, or is about a kind of set of characters, and we just wanted to make something interesting and with memorable songs that had a bit of depth, and yeah, that's it really. We didn't overthink it too much, because at the time, these were just songs we were playing live and songs that kind of had stories that we found interesting, and we put it out, and it sort of just allowed us to travel the world for 2.5 years, which is just amazing and not something we ever expected.
I think you are working on the second album as well, but I do remember reading an interview where you said it's taking a while to actually release the album because you've been touring so much.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just ask you, what's the progress with that right now?
Well, I was going to say it's taken a while to release because it's taken a while to make. It's not by any means sort of near finished, and because of the touring schedule, it's hard to sort of get into the studio and get stuff down. But Dan does a lot of writing sort of on the road, and when we can, we get our producer Mark Crew, who produced the first album with us, out on tour, and then sort of every day we set up like a sort of mini studio and get loads of ideas down and like a bunch of guitar and stuff, it's good, but it's trying to strike a balance between coming and touring like places like this, like Malaysia, but then also we have to make the second album as well. Obviously this time Southeast Asia won. But I guess
I think the thing is that our first album did well in a way that we didn't imagine. So I think we'd be mad to turn down opportunities to travel now when we may not have those opportunities again. But yeah, I think it's like Carl said, it's taken a lot longer just because we've done so much touring. But we're working on it, and hopefully we'll have it done soon. And it's cool. It's cool that, I guess what's nice with this one is that every song has kind of a different city behind it, or they were all kind of written or semi-recorded or made in all these different places around the world. And then we went back to London and spent 10 days in the studio together and recorded a little bit properly. But that's kind of how it's going to work for the whole album, I think. We just did a bit more recording in the US. We're going to do some in South America, and yeah, I think it's going to be quite a fun patchwork of even if they don't sound like they're from that country, for us each song will have a story in our heads from where we recorded it.
So can we say maybe by the end of 2015, or
we really hope it is, yeah.
Well, we can say that. Yeah, we can say that. We'd love it to be. I mean, it's literally, I think, as well as the creative process, there's also quite a lot of logistics that come behind releasing an album worldwide. There's got to be a few months leading into it. So I think it's, as much as we really want it out as soon as possible, I think it's also, for all of us, it's really important that we get it right and that it's the right record and it's good. So we'll see. But yeah, hopefully way before the end of the year.
Okay.
So we talked about you guys' concert tonight. Maybe how many songs? And then
so
I reckon about, I don't know.
We generally play for like hour and a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, the issue with being a first album band is obviously there's generally 1 hour to play. So I mean, obviously we've got the mixtapes as well, so we'll pull a couple of songs from those as well, to kind of help.
And a song from the new album
Yeah.
as well.
Yes.
That we've been playing for a bit.
So I think it's quite a nice cross section of, there's some of the songs that we used to play when we first started and only had 5 songs to play, and then right through to things that aren't even released yet via our mixtapes and everything. So it's kind of, I think if anyone who's a fan who comes tonight and knows our stuff, I think it should be quite satisfying because we do play the whole breadth of what we do.
And we might play Pompeii.
Pompey's
Oh,
We'll see how it goes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, you said that you didn't expect the first album to be such a major hit. I mean, but surely you did have some aspirations for the album, right?
I mean, genuinely, our aspirations were, because you've got to imagine that we came from a place where we were doing everything ourselves. Before we were signed to a record label, we used to drive, the 4 of us, we drove around the country doing gigs to not very many people in shitty little pubs. And we made the whole album ourselves in a very, very tiny studio. We did all of our creative stuff, all of our artwork, everything ourselves. And I think we only really were able to think a month or so ahead. So we concentrated on the tour we were doing or the album we were making. And when we started, there wasn't a huge level of expectation on us. So genuinely, and I'm not just saying this in hindsight, like we really, really didn't know what was going to happen. And we thought we'd be lucky just to get the album out and hopefully sell enough copies to maybe make it to album number 2, which I think in all of our minds by now, we thought album 2 would have been out ages ago. But it's just, that's a testament to how unexpected this all was. We didn't think we'd ever be able to go to America. We didn't think we'd spend 6 months of our lives there this year. We didn't think we'd ever come to Southeast Asia and places like South Africa or Australia. The opportunity to go there has just been amazing and really, really unexpected. So, I think it's maybe easy for everyone else to say that now in hindsight. But we seriously didn't.
I think we ended up playing like a few European festivals where it felt like we were doing well just to kind of get out of the UK a little bit. But even like when we first started, like I always had this kind of aspiration, always wanted to play at Brixton Academy, but that seemed like a million miles away. Like when the album first came out, which we did eventually. But I wouldn't say we didn't have any kind of dreams or hopes for it, but I think we were just being a bit more realistic at the time.
But are you guys happy with where you are now?
No
I
way.
mean,
As in, I think just it's so unexpected. It's gone so far beyond even our sort of like us imagining where it could go.
Yeah.
It's just completely. It's such a shock. And it's weird when you get so caught, because you're so caught up in the project that I guess it takes questions like that and stuff to make you answer and actually go, yeah, this is really weird.
But really enjoyable.
And we love it, and
It's weird because like obviously with the kind of path we've since kind of trodden, obviously the way we kind of hoped it would go was obviously well. It would lead to all these things like even this past year. So we've done like the Brit Awards, the AMAs, Saturday Night Live, all these sort of things. Which for like a small indie band out of London, we didn't think that was ever going to be ever likely. But it's just our lives have changed kind of.
And I think like the main thing, just to finish with, is that like that song Pompeii that we have, it crossed over into I guess the pop world in lots of different countries in a way that we didn't ever expect, and I think no one that we worked with really expected either. And that has just put us in these bizarre situations, like these award shows and like a lot of the But I mean I more mean the kind of really. The real pop world that we never thought we'd engage with, a lot of the award shows and the sort of radio gigs and those kind of things, that bands in our position often don't ever get the opportunity to be involved in. Pompeii doing what it's done sort of opened those doors for us, which has led to a lot of situations that we all find quite surreal, just because it wasn't something we ever thought about.
like meeting rap stars on the red carpet, that sort of thing.
It's just. Yeah, it's weird kind of rubbing shoulders with people who initially they're like, oh my god, that's so and so. Now it's like, oh, hi again, because you just end up bumping into the same kind of people. And obviously everyone's kind of normal, but I guess when you have been outside that world for ages, it feels a bit surreal to be kind of doing that. But I don't know. It's just we're enjoying it immensely at the minute, but obviously very much aware that this isn't necessarily going to be forever. So enjoy it while we can, I suppose.
Sorry, last question, please.
Maybe my last question. Okay, what do you want to say to fans in Malaysia?
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you so much for your support.
And tell your friends because you want to come back.
Yeah. hopefully people who are coming to the show tonight will enjoy it, and yeah, we've had a great time here so far, and we'd love to come back.
And recycle. That's very important.